My name is Angie Watson. This is for Mr. Kodgis in Ethics. This is my ethical dilemma presentation. Mine is organ donation. What do you do with somebody laying there that you aren't sure in your heart is brain dead? Do you donate their organs? Do you, especially a young person, do you continue to let them lay there and year after year after year, like what was the girl's name that laid there? Her husband finally decided that he needed to let her go because she was in a vegetative state, and the courts were back and forth with all that. Well, if you know in your heart that they're brain dead, all the tests have been proven, no, there's no dilemma. You should let them go. That's what we had to decide to do. But if you can give a gift that's saving somebody else's life, there's no dilemma there at all. That's just something, a wonderful gift that you can give. So our story starts in November 1991. My dad had been hurting for 3 days, chest pain, and didn't let anybody know. So one night in the middle of the night, a couple of days, he said, told my mother, "You've got to take me to the ER." When my daddy said that, "You better let's go." He said it was nothing like he had ever known. So when we got to the hospital, whatever, they let us in to see him. He was all pasty gray. He was weak, sick. They didn't think he was going to make it. After a week in the ICU, we brought him home. He was very weak, only living off 20% of his heart, all the medications. He went through cardiac rehab, and the doctor said he didn't need to go back to work. So he applied for disability. This is a man that worked 7 days a week. We have a flower shop. He worked every day, 8 to 5:30, Monday through Saturday. He went in Sundays to do funeral flowers and church flowers, deliver to the funeral home. He always worked, always. Very hard-working man. Never stayed home sick as long as I can remember, ever stayed home sick. So anyway, they finally told him after he completed the cardiac rehab that he could go back to work, just attend to things, not do anything physical. But he could go down there, and actually, I was down there. Well, many doctor's appointments, and 2 years later, the tragic really began. In September of 1993, we were at work, and he said he couldn't breathe. So he drove himself to the doctor. The doctor took one look at him and drove him to the ER himself. Well, they immediately put him on the vent, put him in ICU, the ventilator, to breathe for him. We were all there. He coded, and they actually got him back. He had quit breathing. His heart stopped. They got him back, and the doctors came out and said, the only chance this man has at 56 years old, survival, is for us to lifelight him to Tallahassee Memorial. So we did that. We got down there, and by the time they got the heart cath, where they run a tube up and look and see what kind of damage to your heart is, they said that the only option is a transplant. Well, in the meantime, they put an arterial pump, a femoral arterial pump, to keep his heart pumping while some decisions were made to see what was going to go on. People wait years, months and years for heart transplants. I can remember seeing people walking around there in the ICU just waiting on a heart. Well, his name went on the list Thursday night. It was a Thursday night. His name went on the list. Well, in the meantime, Saturday, he slipped into a coma. Wasn't moving, wasn't talking, nothing. So Sunday morning, we made the decision. They're an ethical dilemma. You've got to decide what's right, what he would want. He had always made his wishes clear. He did not want to live on machines to keep him alive at all. So we were all telling him bye. I had went in there to tell him goodbye, that we loved him, that we would be okay. and this nurse, I can remember, starched white hat and starched white dress, come in there really ugly and saying, well, unfortunately, we had him a heart, just that ugly. Well, I went running and screaming to find my mother. When we come back in there, he started moving. He heard us. He had the wheels released, so we knew there was no dilemma there whatsoever. That was the right thing to do. He had the wheels released. He heard us. No matter what anybody says, your loved one can hear you. And me being a nurse now, I know that. So anyway, we went ahead with the heart transplant. After about 12 grueling hours, the surgeons came out and said that everything went well, that it was a long process and it's going to be touch and go for the next 48 hours. Well, me and my husband had went out there and saw the helicopter come in with his heart. That was amazing. The guy that went and picked up the heart, he used to deliver flowers for us at the flower shop when I was little. He waved at us from the landing pad, to let us know. So we run back inside and told everybody the heart's here, but the waiting room was just completely packed, full of family and friends. It was amazing. And then a few weeks, Dan Green had said in his foot where they had the femoral pump in his groin, pumping, helping his heart pump, the infection, and Dan Green had set in. So there's another dilemma. Do we amputate his foot? Do you put him through this or do you not put him through this? Well, if you don't put him through this, he might not survive anyway because of the infection. They were thinking maybe the infection was causing his liver and kidneys to not function so well. But his heart was good, strong. He didn't have a rejection. It was wonderful. So there another dilemma. We decided to go ahead and amputate his foot. Yes, he probably would have been mad at us for doing that, but he can go home without a foot, but you can't go home without a heart. So we did that. A month to the day of his transplant, the doctors come in and told us that his liver and kidneys were not functioning, and that it was not going to get any better. They just were not working. So we did, again, have to make another decision to take him off life support. I know how people say you pull the plug. Well, that's not so. The ventilator that's breathing for him is just turned down low to keep him comfortable. Just like the assisted suicide, you keep people comfortable in the last stages of their life. Well, the doctors decided that how we would do this is take away the medicine that was keeping his blood pressure up and the fluid running that kept his kidneys going. And if he survived that, then fine. We keep on keeping on. That's my philosophy in life. Keep on keeping on. We took him off about 9 o'clock. He died at 11:07, 1 month to the day after his transplant. Somebody died to save his life. It was amazing. You never, 3 days, and you never get a heart that quick. It was meant to be. We found out later that it was a young person that had a motorcycle or a car wreck that was brain dead, but the rest of the, his organs were fine. So he touched many, many lives, and we wound up writing a letter to his family to thank them how much that meant to us, even though he didn't survive. It was just the best gift anyone could ever give. So, anyway, we buried him, and I always have been iffy about the organ donation, but since we lived through it, oh yes, I'm an organ donor. Everybody needs to let their family know. So there's no dilemma. The family's thinking, well, do I do this? Do I not do this? You let your family know. Organ donation is just the most precious gift you can give anybody to let your family know so they never have to wonder. Always talk, always. Because 7 weeks after, I'm going to finish my little nursing story thing, 7 weeks after my daddy passed away, my sister had moved to Tallahassee the week before Christmas. She moved down there on a Thursday. On Sunday was Christmas. We went down there to see her. The following Thursday, like December 30th of 1993, we get a phone call saying, me and my mother were at the flower shop saying she collapsed. So my mother run home to get things together to go to see about her. Well, in the meantime, I call Tallahassee Memorial and say, I'm calling to check on my sister and neighbors that she was brought in. Well, the nurse, or whoever it was, that answered the phone said, I'm sorry, she died. Just like that. I could not function. I could not do anything. That was the most horrific thing anybody could ever do. No matter if, like my daddy, you know they're going to die and you're prepared, or if it's sudden. It's horrible. So after the dust settled or whatever, I said, if I ever become a nurse, I will never, ever, ever let my patients feel the way those two nurses made me feel, ever. Well, here I am, 19 years, and I've been nursing for 14 years now. I see these dilemmas all day, every day. I work with this, I do this, and this is my calling. And that was the reason I became a nurse. I wound up being able to take care of my mother also before she passed away. She made her wishes known to me that no, she didn't want any heroic measures, and me as a nurse, I would never put her through anything that I did not think was worth putting her through. Because I see people all the time, they put their 99-year-old grandmother through all these tests, and they've lived their lives. You should talk to your people and always, always know what they want so you won't have any kind of ethical dilemmas to decide, do I do this or do I not? It's a good thing, and if people, just like my mother said, I don't want to be cremated. I don't want to be cremated. Let your people know what you want so there is no dilemma whatsoever. The bad thing about organ donation, which I don't see that there is any, is there is that chance that they might come out of their coma 7-10 years later, but their body has wasted away to nothing. And what kind of life are they going to have? Are they going to have a productive life? You just don't know. You just do not know. So it's very, very imperative that with organ donation, please, please let your family know. I've lost all of mine and all of my immediate family. I have my beautiful family. But just let your people know you love them and make your wishes clear. Thank you.